Hello everybody and welcome to another Kerbal Space Program video, and today's image this is what we start out with. It is an image that I took when I was in some city, when I was traveling this past couple weeks, and we are going to build the rocket that is in this image today. It's going to be very fun. It was very fun to build. I didn't really spend too much time on it. I was just trying to get a video out for this week. I have this structural piece here, and I'm using a mod here. It basically adds different textures to the rocket. So that's what's happening there. Why it might look all a little bit different. That rod that I put there, that structural piece, is so I can know the correct length for the fairing. It still didn't end up being quite as lined up as I wanted it to, but it worked pretty good for what my uses were. So this rocket, as you can see in the first image, is basically it looks like a nose cone for a space shuttle, with a bunch of not solid rocket boosters, but a bunch of strap-on liquid fuel boosters on the sides. I don't really think they're strap-on. I think they're like a proton rocket. They're just stuck on there. So that should be. It was really fun to build. I'm watching this video at like 2 frames per second. So it's at half quality in my Premiere Pro stuff. So we can actually, if I change it to quarter quality, that may be a bit nicer. But we are just going to stream it at this right now for me doing this audio recording. If you hear anything in the background, that is my dog. She is sleeping on the bed. On my bed. But here I am adding the mounts for the fuel tanks. So we will have a way symmetry of fuel tanks, and this will allow us to basically have enough fuel. I decided to do the can't remember what it's called, but basically the size of the upper stage of the Saturn V. Basically, I decided to use that, and I used 5-meter fairings that were extended. It was all pretty fun to build. So, lost in my thought. Now you can see that I had these little dots sticking out of my fairing, which I decided to remove, so I just offset them inward. But for some reason during my fight, they decided or something made them so they came out of the fairing and just looked a little weird. But now we're adding the side liquid fuel boosters. These I just used the stock Soyuz looking things, side boosters, strap-on boosters. So I did these in basically 16-way symmetry, but I didn't have the mod for 16-way symmetry done or on my computer. Whenever I move, my light keeps on flashing. I don't know why, but it is annoying me. So I had some struggles with trying to lay them straight, or so they wouldn't clip in. But that was all bypassed eventually when we finally got it lined up, and I decided to start adding the engines. So I was searching through my engines. I really recommend this mod, by the way, that adds different textures. I'll link it down in the description. So I tried for some space shuttle looking engines, and then those didn't work. I was trying to do, since they taper outward in the picture, I I was trying to do some larger engines, which these engines right here worked, so I just clipped them up into the boosters. So you might notice right now there's no control of this vehicle, but there will be. I was trying to add it in the middle of the top fairing, but it ended up in the bottom fairing for some reason. So you can basically see it's sticking out. I was gonna try. Okay, I'm thinking way too fast. I was gonna try to send this to the MUN. Then I looked at my TWR stuff on the side. I had 54 seconds of burn time. I was just calculated right there. I didn't even think I had enough Delta V to reach orbit. But in the end, you will see that the whole vehicle survived. I had added the battery systems and the control systems, so now I'm just adding communication systems, which for some reason it decided to go at this weird tilt, so I fixed that. Yeah, so we're almost pretty much done with this, but I was thinking the MUN, so I put landing legs on it, which those landing legs were very, very finicky. I was kind of messing around with them to try to make them work, which in the end it didn't really matter because it was all useless anyways. But this was just a fun little video to make. So yeah, I got those landing legs to stick out down below the engines, and I know, never put landing legs on the inside of a vehicle, because then it's always very unstable. So yes, I do know that. I was just building this to get a video out. Gotta do what you gotta do. Sometimes come on, think. Sorry, I'm tired. I spent the last couple weeks on vacation. So, the landing legs, like I said, are useless. And then, what I did when I was building this is I accidentally grabbed the whole vehicle. And for some reason, I got all freaked out. I was trying to put it back. And I should have just realized that the vehicle wasn't even harmed. I had pressed Alt to copy it. I should have realized that, but I just managed to mess it up even more. Then I put it back. And then it was messed up, so I had to Okay. Yeah, it was very awesome. And then I was wondering why they were all clipped into each other on the side, why there was 8-way symmetry on the side. The one that isn't attached to the vehicle, and then I realized, oh, that's a vehicle. And then we're at the launch pad. We're ready to launch this crazy looking thing to not even to the orbit. Only to the MUN. But for some reason the fairing glowed red, but these plumes were really cool. I'm using real plume because I'm going to change to waterfall soon. Because I just found out Waterfall is finally updated. I'm filming this on the 11th. 8/11/2021. So, yeah, this vehicle, I got it taken. It was taking off. There was this weird red plume, but it looks awesome. It looks like, I can't place it, but it looks pretty awesome. There was no control whatsoever. Yeah, so that's what I was talking about with the fuel tank sticking out the side, which I wasn't very happy about. You can see we're only 5,000 meters up, 6,000 meters up, and we're already halfway done with fuel. Yeah, that was pretty disappointing, for me, at least. But we did eventually get our apoapsis into space. I don't know, is that the right pronunciation? Apoapsis? I don't know. Yeah, so I shut the engine off there because I think I had my apoapsis high enough. I had my perhaps is going into space. I think eventually I got up to 200 kilometers. Was my highest flight distance thing. It was, yeah, kind of just time warped through that to see if any of the vehicle would survive re-entry, which you have to wait and find out. Is like 2 minutes to find out if it did survive re-entry. But you could see there the plumes did change color, and I was trying to get it to go to a different way so I could point it so I could burn the engines to go into orbit. Alas, not happening. Probably if I had added different engines or more fuel or spent more time on it, but this was just something fun that I wanted to do, and we ran out of fuel there. We're going to time warp up to our highest point, and we're falling back to Kerbin. Oh no, there's cities below us. We're hitting the atmosphere. We're going nose first. Bum, bum. Engines are overheating. We've had a total loss of the vehicle. And we're exploding. And there's parts flying everywhere. Like landing gear. Imagine if the landing gear just came and crashed on your house. And boom. That's what's left of the vehicle. The whole bottom fairing area was just fine. Nothing was wrong with it. Just floating around in space. Not a care in the world. I was trying to get it so it would point down to act as a parachute almost. But it was just swinging. It got really close towards the end. But nope, wasn't in the plans. But here we are. It crashed. I deployed the flarings at the last second to cushion the fall. And I found out it had survived. A piece of the vehicle had survived. And I was so happy about that I did like a whole celebratory thing. And thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time.